Seated Biology TCP. I am Mr. Wilson from the TCP Academy. You can find us online at tcp-academy.teachable.com. You may send us an email at extremesolutionsja@gmail.com. Or you might follow the ads in this video to find out more about enrolling to our online classes, labs, or marathon. In this video, we're going to be looking at the human and social biology alternative to practical for the Caribbean Secondary Examination Council, as is put forward by the CXC. So this is what the new HSB alternative to SBA will look like. The paper is also called Paper 032. It will last 1 hour and 15 minutes, and the instruction is expected to be as is on screen. This paper consists of a case study and 12 questions. Answer all questions. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, HSB, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today. Write your answers in the space provided in this booklet. Do not write in the margin. You're advised to take some time to read through the paper and plan your answers. If you need to rewrite any answer and there is not enough space to do so on the original page, you must use the extra line pages provided at the back of this booklet. Remember, draw a line through your original answer. If you use the extra pages, you must write your question number clearly in the box provided at the top of the extra page, and where relevant, include question parts beside your answer. So we're going to be looking at the paper. It's the first time that we're going to be doing this paper. And usually there are challenges when there's a new paper from CXC. So we're going to be just going through the paper as quickly as is possible and providing some explanation as would be. At the end of this video, you'll be able to find example of a lab and mark scheme so you can better prepare yourselves for the alternative to practical. Private candidate will be sitting. Get help with CSET Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Tim had questions. He wanted to know where he could get help with his SBA Labs. His parents searched but could not find that experience. Tim also made some calls, however could not find the help he needed. Tim needed an experience he could trust to help him get over the hurdle of SBAs as success was in sight. He met the guys from tcp-academy.teachable.com and they designed a program to help him. tcp-academy.teachable.com was able to help him. So too, they can help you. Sign up tcp-academy.teachable.com for help with your SBAs in biology and human and social biology. That's those persons who did not do the SBA for HSB. So the following case study contains information for a research project. Read the case study and answer the questions that follow each section. Case study. Now we have our background. The town of Castridge, located at the base of a mountain range, is usually supplied with water from a well. The well has run dry and an alternative water source is needed. The government is considering 5 rivers that run through the mountain range as potential source of portable water. Now, portable water, this is good clean water for drinking. It is considered to be. Each river differs primarily on land usage pattern as follow. So potable water, referred to as drinking water, water that is fit for consumption. The Chanchi River flows through an area where there are many pig farms. The Black Bay River flows through an untouched forest, that is, it has not been disturbed in any way. The Coronai River flows through 2 other towns before reaching Castries. The Douse River flows through the deforested region where logging occurs. The Demerara River flows through agricultural land. Interesting observations. What's our first challenge? You are employed by the government of Castridge to investigate the quality of water in these rivers and to make a recommendation as to which river should be used to supply the town's water. Write a suitable statement of problem. Now, these answers are supplied by CXC. The paper is supplied by CXC, so they should provide good guide. So CXC is saying who is doing the pollution and what is being affected. So human activity affects the quality of water. So you're getting 1 mark to say who, and what does that mean? You're getting another mark, total 2 marks there for the problem statement. State the objective of the investigation. And all this is coming from your background knowledge. To determine the quality of water in each of the 5 rivers in the town of Castridge. Now remember, you are contracted to do this, so this must be your objective. So you can scroll on back to the top to look at the case study to see if these answers are in line with the case study. So the one there representing the mark that you're getting for that part of your answer. Methodology. In conducting your research, you tested the water in each river for the presence of the following contaminants: nitrate, phosphate, suspended sediments, E. coli bacteria. Identify the primary method of data collection used in this study. Now, most persons who did the experiment or did the SBA would tell you that they had used a questionnaire or survey or that type of a method to collect the data. Now, the method used to collect the data is experimentation. All right, so data collection primarily using. Let's look at question number 4. Describe the process by which water in the rivers could be tested to determine the presence of E. coli. So here we are looking at the test for bacteria, and this is one of a lab that we need to know for the exam. So other than just watching this to understand about the lab, you want to know how this particular experiment is done. Step to test the river water for E. coli. Obtain samples of water from each of the 5 rivers. 1 mark for that. Using a sterilized inoculating loop or swab. 1 mark. Transfer a sample of water to an agar plate, making zigzag streak across the surface of the agar. So the agar is this nutrient-rich medium that should foster the growth of the bacteria colonies. Close the lid of a plate as quickly as possible to avoid contamination. Secure the lid of a plate with adhesive tape. Incubate at 25 degrees Celsius for 48 hours. Observe and count the number of E. coli colonies. Repeat steps 2 to 6 using samples from the other rivers. So you're seeing the mark they are being allotted for each step of this experiment. 8 marks in total is allotted. Question number 5. State one limitation of a method of data collection use. So we're carrying out an experiment as a method of data collection. The limitation, data collected depend on the time of year it was collected. That is wet or dry season. Was it raining or is it during summer when the water would have been low and the concentration of contaminant would have been high? Presentation of the data. The results of a test carried out on the water from each river are presented in Table 1. Table 1, results of tests of water from rivers. That's a title there. Now we are looking at this, and this information will have to be represented on a graph. Now, using the grid provided on page 7, plot a bar graph of the data for E. coli colonies per 100 ml presented. So we are going to be putting this information here on the bar graph. Now, usually we say the independent variable goes on the x-axis and the dependent variable goes on the y-axis. So looking at this table, what is the independent and what is the dependent variable? So our independent variable will be the names at the top here. So these are going to be going on your x-axis, and then the reading here is going to be your dependent variable. So this is the dependent variable, dependent, and this here is going to be your independent variable. All right. So just one other way in which the data could be represented. Data could be represented using a line graph, and we're going to be looking at the graph on the other page. When you're using your graph paper, it is expected that you're going to be using at least 75%, 70 to 75% of a leaf. So make sure your scale will allow that to hold on the paper. The graph must have a title. You're seeing the title here. Make sure that the graph has a title for your. Alright, so the graph needs to have a title and a scale. So this here pretty much represents the graph. So we have here the x-axis, and this is the name of the axis, rivers, and you're seeing the bar there and the bar for each of the river, which the rivers serve as the independent variable. And then we're having the contaminant are the E. coli colonies. So we're seeing the number of colony for each year, and we're seeing the scale here going up in 100. Yes, you can put on your scale, on your graph. It's wise for you to do so. You can put on to make sure that you have. All right, so scale. All right, so you put on the scale for the X. Put on the scale. All right, so we move on and we look. Bar graphs usually like this, and this is a simple bar graph. Remember that a bar graph could be a clustered bar graph where the bars are touching. For example, if we were looking at the number of pens being sold for a month and you had like 3 colors three colors: red, black, blue. We could look at red, black, blue for January, red, black, blue for February, and there you see you'd have a cluster graph. This is a simple bar graph. All right, so we move on here. So if you were supposed to do this, I didn't say that. If you were supposed to do as is outlined here, you would have picked up full marks for this graph. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, Hsb, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today. Now we want to analyze the data. So the graph here on the table were examples of data presentation. We're looking now at the analysis and interpretation of data. The accepted levels of phosphate in potable water should not exceed 14.14 milligram per liter. The same is true for nitrate, should not exceed 50 milligrams per liter. The same is true for suspended sediments, should not exceed 10 milligram per liter. Now we're going to be looking at number of E. coli colony by analyzing and interpreting the data here. And the number of E. coli colony, if it is 0 to 49 in your potable water, then it is excellent. Good, 50 to 99, that's good. Fair, 100 to 199. Intermediate, 200 to 299. And poor is going to be greater than or equal to 300. So we want to bear these numbers in mind as we move forward. Using the information in Table 1 and Table 2, complete Table 3 by using a tick to indicate where the levels of contaminant in each river meet the accepted levels. So we are saying that the nitrate, well, we're looking at the table above, the nitrate was pretty much at the accepted level. The phosphate was at the accepted level. Only in the Black Bay River did we have a total suspended sediment at the accepted level. And if you observe here, we would have put some hyphen in the cells that had no data to be entered. No cell should be left blank. E. coli bacteria, only in the Black Bay River did we have the accepted level, along with the Douse River. We had the accepted level in these two rivers. For the others, it was not at the accepted level. So we got 5 marks for that. Then we move on to question number 9. Identify the river which has the highest level of E. coli bacteria present in the water and suggest one likely reason for this occurrence. Again, you are going to look at your tables to look at the river which would have had that, and that is going to be the Chang Chai River, and you're going to get 1 mark for naming or for identifying the river, and then for the explanation or the suggestion, the likely reason, you're going to be getting another mark. Since it runs through a pig farm, a large amount of fecal matter which contains E. coli is likely to be washed into the river. Get help with CSET Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Identify the river which has the highest amount of suspended sediments present in the water and suggest one likely reason for this occurrence. Again, you're getting 1 mark just to identify the river, and then for the explanation, you're getting another mark. Since it runs through a deforested area and there will be a higher level of soil erosion, and these particles are likely to be washed into the river. You're getting 1 mark for that as well. Identify the river which has the highest level of phosphate and nitrate present in the water and suggest one likely reason for this occurrence. The Demerara River, since it runs through agricultural land and fertilizer which contains nitrate and phosphate, are likely to wash into the river. So you see some nice answers coming up, and we are pretty much following the guide. Identify 1 mark, and the suggested reason another mark. Not just a suggested reason, you must actually identify first when you give the reason. Then these are some other important points here. Now, in the river with high levels of nitrate and phosphate, eutrophication is likely to occur. So there's one social and one economical implication for the town of Castridge. All right, so we're looking at economic implication and social implication. It says one, but two was provided here. Reduction in activities such as fishing as the fish die out in significant proportion. Water is polluted, so of course the fish will really die. Increase in healthcare costs as algae produce toxin that make the water unsafe for consumption. You know that it's likely for you to have red tide when the algae are blooming, as they provide neurotoxin or cause neurotoxins to be in the water. Social implication: loss of local aesthetics as a result of breakdown of quality of the environment. The stench, the color, everything is going to change as a result of what is happening in the water. Loss of tourism because recreational activities that usually take place on the river can no longer occur because the water is toxic as a result of the algal bloom. So there we have the economic and the social implication. You want to make sure you look at those. Recommendation: recommend to the government of Castridge the river that would be best suited to provide potable water to the town, and give 2 reasons for your recommendation. Again, this is going to come from your experiment, so you're going to go back to your table and look at what the observation were, what the experiment returned. So the Black Bay River, the river here is identified. Now the 2 reasons. It is best recommended to supply the town of Castridge with potable drinking water. Reason? This is because this river has the least amount of a 4 contaminant of a rivers investigated. Reason? Therefore, it will be less expensive for the government to provide potable water from that river. So there you have your 2 reasons as to why that river would have been the better source to provide water for the town. 11. Suggests one other river that the government of Castridge could utilize to provide the town with potable water. Justify your recommendation. The Dowse River, because it has 3 out of 4 contaminant present at acceptable level. So not only that the contaminant is present, we also have to look if it is within the accepted level. We don't want to write it off because the contaminant is there. We have to look if it is okay. That amount, will it affect the persons consuming the water? No. So this river can be used. The only contaminant at an accepted level is the suspended sediment, which is relatively easy to be removed. And you realize that you're getting your full marks there, 3 marks. You're giving your reasons and you identify the river. Well done. Final question, and you would have gotten your 40 marks for this paper. So there's 2 ways in which the waterways of Castridge could be improved. Move the pig pen or the pig farm further away from the river. Regulate logging activities that will reduce, of course, the deforestation. Make sure that trees are replanted or we are using alternative product. In the urban areas, ensure that sewage systems are properly functioning. We don't really want to have any seepage. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, Hsb, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today. Into our groundwater, into our rivers. That takes us to the end of a paper. You would have gotten 40 marks for this if you were supposed to do it. The answers here supplied, to the best of my knowledge, are provided by the CXC for the specimen paper. Now, please be reminded to like, share, and of course, subscribe. You may also enroll for our online classes by following the instruction in the ads which come up next. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. Get help with CSEC Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Tim had questions. He wanted to know where he could get help with his SBA Labs. His parents searched but could not find that experience. Tim also made some calls, however could not find the help he needed. Tim needed an experience he could trust to help him get over the hurdle of SBAs as success was in sight. He met the guys from tcp-academy.teachable.com and they designed a program to help him. tcp-academy.teachable.com was able to help him. So too, they can help you. Sign up tcp-academy.teachable.com for help with your SBAs in biology and human and social biology. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, Hsb, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today.